Hello and welcome to today's show. I'm delighted today to be in conversation with a former Hurler of the Year, a 3-time All-Star, 4-time Munster winner, best known as Dan the Man. Dan, how are you keeping? Dan Shanahan, folks, how are you?
Good, thanks, Mike, and yourself?
All good. You're looking as fit and as well as you ever have been. 48 years young and you're still going strong.
And you're looking at me top half there, Mike, so I'm not too bad. Yeah, I'm okay, Mike, to be honest with you, boy. I look after myself, so I do. So I still enjoy the training and stuff. So kind of have to, Mike, I suppose it's in the genes. I've been doing all my life, so why stop now?
A simple question, Dan. What does hurling mean to you?
Yeah, it means everything to me, Mike. I'd be brutally honest with you. I'd be lost without the old hurling. So it's since I was born, going up to the local feed there, it means everything to me. 20-something years at it, and there's more still at it up there. So just the enjoyment I get out of Michael is just going to the field, hitting a few balls. When I had to train hard, I trained hard. I still do to my best ability, but I just love going to the field, Michael. It's like kind of therapy, if that makes any sense. When you go to the field, some lads go cycling, some lads go to the gym. I do that as well, but when you go to the field there and hit a few balls around the field with your club mates or your inter-county lads, or even when you're coaching the boys with Waterford, that you're down the field hitting a few balls, it's what I really enjoy, Michael, to be honest with you.
It's hard to describe. I was chatting to Jackie Tyrrell last week for a piece in Saturday's paper, and we were just talking about the joy of pucking a ball. It's hard to describe, isn't it?
It's unbelievable, Michael. Smell of grass, a new litter, you know what I mean? A few drop shots over the bar, they get it's unbelievable, Michael, and I still enjoy it, Michael. That's the thing about it. I would have been quoted saying, Mike, that other lads go cycling, triathlons, high rocks is a new thing now, maybe that's down the line. But at the moment I still enjoy going to the field. Granted, I'm not as fast as the other lads anymore, but I still go and do my best. You know what I mean? It's just in me, Michael. I've done it all my life, and it's so hard to give up. So it is, and it's probably on the way, Michael, if I'm being honest with you.
Well, you tried already, but unsuccessfully.
Unsuccessfully, when you're getting a phone call there, our juniors are stuck there, you stand in foot forward, or you go sub-goalie for the seniors, look at that, they won't let me down, you know where I am. So I still enjoy going to the field, Michael. I have a bit more time this year, Michael, I suppose. I'm with no club, so I have a lot more time towards my own club, if that makes sense, after the Waterford exit this year, so I could go back to Lismore and train there, which I really love going up the road, Michael, to my club, and seeing the young fellas playing there before we play or after we play in the minor championship Wednesday nights, it's unbelievable, and long may it last.
You won a Junior B last year, I'm right in saying, a 47.
Yeah, Junior B, we're in the relegation final. The relegation final this Sunday, so we are to stay up to Junior A. So it's important, Michael, because we have a few young lads coming through there, and there's a bit of a difference, Michael, from Junior B to Junior A hurling. Better fields, better referees, better players as well. So it's important that we try and get a result next Sunday evening.
You're very, very close to it, so I presume you're going to try and stay going to the big 5-0.
Yeah, might as well, Michael. See how the body goes, to be honest with you. Look, I'm wicked lucky, Michael, I suppose. I did my ligaments ankle there on the year, but they're coming good now, so I have no serious injury. I've never had a serious injury, touch wood, so I haven't. And look, it's some of the lads there, they go out and they do their cruciates or do their Achilles or they do their hamstrings and they're gone. And at the moment, Michael, I'm just fierce lucky that I see it there with Morris, his finger. He hasn't played a game now with number 6 or 7 weeks, and that happens every year. So I'm just wicked lucky, Michael, that the body holds up. But I'll be honest with you, Michael, I put a lot of work into it too, going to the gym. Don't get me wrong, Michael, I enjoy myself there Sunday and the odd Monday, so I do. But I work harder 5 or 6 days previous to that,
Just on it as well, Dan, with the club, you mentioned it being about like therapy going up to the field. It is a great way after a long day's work. I know you're on the roads a good bit. There's nothing like it. It's just fresh air, meeting lads, etc., etc. It's something just completely different, isn't it?
Oh, Michael, it's unbelievable, and I don't know if people realise it. That it's just going up the road, up to my mother, have a cup of coffee before I go train, and have the chat, and back up to the field then there to lads and hook a ball and over and back to the field and tools before we start training, Michael. Obviously a bit of activation. Now we wouldn't have that back in our day, activation or anything like that, just get out in the field, but do a bit of that now, and out in the field in twos. There was always 1 or 2 lads that work away in twos. You always have the lads, Michael, before training trying to cut the line balls over the bar, yourself, and when it comes to championship they can't do it. But no in twos over and back to the field there and leathering ball until the lads called training, didn't get serious for the next hour and a half, but it's unbelievable, Michael. Shower, recovery, drink, your new man back down the road again. don't get me wrong, Michael, it'll be stiff the following morning, but look, it's all worth it.
Things have changed a good bit since your own playing days, Dan. Does ever part of you wish you've been involved with Waterford twice, you've been involved with Laois as well. When you see the levels of preparation now, do you ever think, geez, I'd love if I could be teleported into this modern game?
Yeah, I would love the Michael, to be honest with you. I'd love to be 20 years younger, going back playing the way with the facilities the boys have now, the sports psychology, the gyms, Michael, the dietitians, the better pitches. Do you know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable. Like, we've Welsh Park, Michael. We have grades, myself, Milan. I wouldn't say I'm a great no, but Milan, McGrath, Kelly. We'll never play in Welsh Park in the new stadium. Do you know, we spent so many of our years trying to play home games down there, and we'll never play down there. Like, you know what I'm saying to you, Michael? So that's the one regret, I suppose, that Welsh Park wasn't there when we were playing, Michael, and it would have been unbelievable for facilities. It's great to see it now, Michael, but we didn't have that. Like, and to be going back down there in the summer months there, Michael, training, it's unbelievable. So it is. And look, I'd love to be back, but I had my day, Michael, so I did, and I really enjoyed it and gave it everything. We all gave it everything, but again, it just didn't work out for us.
Yeah, we'll come to your days with Waterford in a minute. Just the nature of the season, Dan, and how cutthroat Munster is. How difficult is it to be finished by the end of May? You're obviously in with Peter at the minute. You're finished at the end of May. It's been like that for a couple of years now. The round robin has not been your friend, really. The format just doesn't seem to suit you maybe as good as other teams. How difficult is it to be gone at that stage of the year when, like, we were all brought up on, June, July, August? Those are the months you want to be hurling realistically,
100%, Michael. And it does hurt, Michael. You're gone there at the start of May, and you don't have a club game in for another 10 weeks. But the sacrifices these lads make, Michael, is unbelievable. From November, December, right up to when they're knocked out of the championship, it's unbelievable. All we want to do, Michael, is get into the knockout stages of the championship. Unfortunately, Michael, we haven't been doing that. But again, we know, Michael, you have to win 2 home games. You have to win 2 games out of 4 to qualify in Munster. We all know how tough Munster is, and I'm not going to paper any cracks as excuses. We won 1 game, Michael. So to get out of Munster, you have to win at least 2 or get 2 draws, win 1, get 2 draws or 3, whatever it is. But it's been unfortunate for us. We haven't got out of Munster, and you see it this year. The Ireland champions didn't come out. We didn't come out. Last year Tip didn't come out. They've been on to be our Ireland champions. So it's dog eat dog in Munster. So it is. But we knew last year, previously again, that you need to be working hard, and to get out of Munster, Michael, you have to get victories, pick up an away victory, or get your 2 home wins. So I think every manager knows, every selector knows going in, that you have to at least win 2 games. And if you don't win 2, Michael, you're going to struggle to come out of anywhere.
Yeah, your buddy Milan does be with me here most weeks chatting, and he writes in the paper obviously every week as well. He had suggested 4 coming out of the 2 provinces. Now, I know Peter had suggested something similar as well. My fear would be that the provincials will be greatly diluted, and teams will not kill each other if there's 4 going through, because you can basically lose probably 3 games and go through. But is there any part of you realistically looking at Leinster and thinking that potentially there are inferior teams getting later in the championship because of their geography or because of the province they're in, as opposed to ye and the games that ye have to play within Munster? And there's going to be 2 teams gone, good teams gone every year. Is that a difficult thing to swallow a bit as well?
It isn't, Michael. I think with respect, when you see the McDonagh finalists in the knockout stages of the championship, they have to be rewarded too for winning their competitions, if that makes sense. Is
the reward not to be playing McCarthy next year, though? Do you know what I mean? And that's the end of your championship,
Yeah, I do. But again, it's just, I find it so hard when we look at Leinster, and it's so, like, they have their games as well, Michael. It's tough to go to Galway and get results, so they have their own. It's just the ferocity of Munster hurling. Any 4 were to come out, Michael, there'll still be 1 disappointed top team that wouldn't come out anyway, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And going by the last 2 years, that would have been us again, because we finished bottom of the group last 2 years. So I think I know the format John is on about, where 4 teams come out and there's 4 quarterfinalists, and we could play Kilkenny above and Kilkenny for their reward of winning Leinster, which is a good idea, But again, it's up to the hierarchy, Michael. I'd love to see. I do agree in a way that if 4 teams were to come out, we haven't won Munster since 10, Michael.
Yeah.
So the ferocity from Waterford, it should go into every game. So I don't think Clare have won Munster since '98. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, you're right, yeah.
You know, and like Tony Kelly, one of the greatest hurlers ever, John Connon, have no Munster medal, as far as I know. Do you know, so the ferocity of Munster is unbelievable. And the 4 teams, even if there was, I still think to be there, Michael. The Munster Championship, the crowds are getting, the supporters are following is unbelievable. The GAA Munster Council, so it is. And that's why, Michael, they're not doing much about the 4th or 5th team coming out of it, I'd say.
Yeah, okay. What's it like being involved in Waterford? I know you really enjoyed your first time with Derek. When I look at you on the sideline, you're as pumped up and as ready to go as anybody. I'd imagine you get a massive buzz out of being involved. And I just from chatting to you down through the years, I think you're a very hands-on person, and you like to be there, and you like to be hands-on, kind of directly there, very, very close to the action. You love being in the middle of it.
It's too, Michael, because I'm fortunate enough to have 4 Munster medals, Mike. I mean, Peter asked me to go in as with him again, and I really enjoyed my time with Derek. What a man, what a coach. You see what he's done with Doon at the moment, what he's done with any place he's went to. And I've learned so much of Eric. And when Peter asked me, I was with Ken at the time with the 20s, and I just felt it was my time to go in and see could we produce that performances to win Munster, Michael. I'm personally, Michael, we're not getting anything out of this. We're there every night to improve Waterford hurling and try to get them players to go up the steps of Páirc Uí Chaoimh and witness winning the Munster trophy. That's personally why I'm there, to bring my bit of knowledge to the players below, hands-on, trying to get the lads over the line to witness win a Munster, get their Ireland final, get their semi, go to Croke Park, witness all the good stuff that hurling brings to you when you do win stuff, Michael. Like, granted, we won 1A, 1B. It's brilliant to win the leagues and stuff like that, but it's no comparison to win final whistle goals and you're Munster champions. You saw this year with Cork and Limerick, the penalty shootout. The crowd that Cork brought onto the field. Limerick would do the same if they'd done, and Clare and Waterford would do the same. So for me, Peter and Nigel and Owen, our job is to get them lads to witness winning trophies, Michael, because there's no better feeling. You know, the work you put into it, the sacrifice they make, and to be gone in April or May, and other teams knowing that you're as good as winning Munsters, it hurts sometimes, and we're there to improve Waterford and get the lads over the line and get them to feel the winning of a Munster medal, Michael, because we haven't won it since 10, Michael, and it breaks my heart to say that because we've quality players down here. Yeah. Quality players down here, and a lot of people have said that. If you know that over the years, we have quality players, so we do. And personally, I just want to see them lads witness the final whistle going, 30,000 Waterford fans in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, and we crown 2026 Munster champions. To be unbelievable, Michael.
Well, you've experienced it. What's it like?
Oh, it's unbelievable, Michael. The first time we won a Michael coming down over Cox Bridge, the All Bridge into Dungarvan with 10,000 people inside the square there. That days you'll never forget, Michael. 0-7 Limerick, 0-4 again, the Munster final, the 14 and 15. Do you know that the final whistle that day, Michael, was phenomenal. That final, because John obviously got sent off, but do you know, Flinner's goal, Ken's catch, I think the James Murray's hook or Owen Murphy's hook at the other end on one of the Cork boys was a certain goal. And Seamus Penner's winning point. Do you know, when the whistle goes, Michael, it's unbelievable. You probably don't understand, Michael, you retire and see what you've achieved. No, it's only 4 Munster medals, Michael. They're still Munster medals. Like, they're not thrown away.
Jeez, Dan, I tell you, these boys would take your right arm for one of them. A sniff at one.
Sniff at one, Michael. And that's why we're there. But it's to witness that, Michael, and personally to witness with my family was unbelievable. Witness with my teammates when you go into the dressing room and after the game and go up the steps. I think I went up the steps once or twice, Michael, but I always went to the dressing room waiting for the lads to come in and congratulate each other, because we would have worked hard over the previous years or previous months to get to that. And look, Justin, you always left us play off the cuff, Michael, to his credit. Do you know, off the cuff hurling, swapping. We never were told when to change. I was going full forward, Michael. Milana come out on the wing for 2 or 3 minutes until they've set the Cork backs or the other backs. So where's Milana, or where's Shanahan gone, or where's Kelly gone? So Justin said, go out and enjoy yourself and play off the cuff hurling. And 9 times out of 10, Michael, it worked. Sometimes it didn't, but we enjoyed it.
What were those moments like in the dressing room? I've been in winning dressing rooms and they are special, but I've never obviously been in a Munster final winning dressing room. What's that like? Like, they are special moments because on the field everyone's probably on top of you and it's unbelievable, I'd imagine. But when it's the 36 lads or however many and the management who have gone to war with each other in Carriganore and Walsh Park and all these places, dark, miserable, dank, wet nights, and to get what she set to achieve what she set out to achieve and have it and just be all together, I'd say it's something special.
It's unbelievably special, Michael. So it is, like, you know, obviously the east and west in Waterford, like, probably different in other places, but to take us, we had Michael to win him. Do you know, it didn't matter where you came from. I'd eaten Carney hurling the shit out of me in a club game 2 weeks previous to a knockout game for Waterford. Shook hands, we went on to win Munster for Waterford. So the respect we had for each other when we went training, by God, we took lumps out of each other, Michael. Lumps out of each other. I can remember Tony Brown and Ken McGrath, 2 club mates, flaking each other below in Welsh Park. 2 club mates, 2 friends, flaking each other in an A versus B game, or backs and forwards. And the minute that was over, shook hands and got on with it. And they're the things, Michael, when you win trophies and you witness these lads doing that you're saying, this is what it means to us. Do you know, and to win it and to celebrate it with your teammates and to celebrate with your fans after, but celebrate your teammates and going to your local, having a few beers, having the crack, knowing that you've won Munster, really enjoying celebrating too, because it's so important, Michael. Now, I don't think you realise how serious that players need to enjoy these things too. You have to enjoy celebrating because they put so much time into them, their partners put so much time into them, that you have to celebrate these things. And by God, did we celebrate, Michael? We celebrated for 2 or 3 days, if I'm being honest with you. But look, that was it. But we trained hard on the Wednesday after it. Do you know, but it was some feeling, Michael, to being addressed from sitting alongside Paul Flynn, Dave Bennett, all the lads, every one of them. I don't compare anyone, because I respected every one of them. That makes sense to you.
Yeah.
So I still go and have a point on 99.9% of them lads now, back then as well, if that makes sense, because we just respect we had for each other.
I know Milan ended up sleeping in the bath in James Murray's house after the Munster final in 2002. Where did you sleep the same night? He said Murray locked all the doors to all the bedrooms, so there'd be no messing.
I stayed below Waterford, Michael, in 02. I know it was a Flynn or Dave Bennett's house. They were renting down there at the time, and myself and my buddy Chicken went down there and we stayed down there, and we had some crack, boys, so we did for a couple of days. And we came back with Peter Quealy the Monday after, Michael, and God, we go to Peter's father, Richie, was home watching the game. He made us dinner. We all we wanted was a few extra beers, but we were down at Peter's house and Richie the dinner on, so we had the dinner and Spuds there after the Monday after the Munster final, Michael. So it's things you never forget, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Did you get any free pints off Milan? And was it the Bull Phelan had a good bit of money on? Who was it? Was it Ronaldinho to be top, or Ronaldo to be top goal scorer in the World Cup? The World Cup final was on that morning, and I think he got 2 against Germany, and maybe Brazil to win the World Cup. And he just said he just had a heap of money and just had to give it to the barman and say, "I'll get that off you Monday night or Tuesday morning or whatever."
He would have known, to his credit, Michael. Milan he would have known, and Bull would have been the same way. They're good crack boys. The lads were, like, you know, the Bull Freedom was some crack. Michael Mazoud enjoyed the point, and John enjoyed a few drinks too, to be honest with you, like, you know. But that was the celebrations, Michael, the crack we had together, like, you know, we could have that. And the boys often throw a few points. We always did, Michael. They know never be stuck, if that makes sense. So they wouldn't. We'd enjoy ourselves. Do you know what I'm saying? We never did that and stupid, Michael. We always behaved ourselves, and Justin would have said that: behave yourself, lads, when you go out, and just respect where you come from. And we did, Michael.
Is there any party, I know you said you never did anything stupid, but is there any party that's like, Jesus, thank God there was no iPhones and that kind of crack back around then, you know?
I suppose what there was, Michael, that day below, and that day below, and the first time we won it, like, you know, and there was a few naked bodies going all over fences and stuff like that, like, you know. Thank God there was no cameras then, Michael, compared to now, because you can't do that now, Michael, because you're seen doing everything, like, you know. And look, thank God I wasn't there then, but we'd celebrate it with our celebration, Michael, going into the pub, having a few beers, falling asleep, off back home again. You know what I mean? So.
Dan, your trademark was a goal, or many goals, hat tricks in games as well. Was that always in you? I know you started more as a kind of a wing forward, but did you always have an eye and a thirst for rattling the onion bag?
I think I did, Michael, if I'm being honest with you. I would have practiced a lot in training, putting a tire inside the post there, trying to hit the one bounce into the corner, hanging rings off the crossbar there, that kind of stuff. I thought it's kind of getting goals is kind of a thing you have, Michael. You don't have it. It's kind of in you, and you can see with a lot of the players now, they know where the net is. But that comes with practice too, Michael, being there around the post. I'm sick of telling people, even now as a coach, be around, come off the top of the post, you can be there pulling the ball, goal. It's making that 10 runs, you might only get 1 ball, Michael, but keep making the runs. And I'm a big fan of that. That comes with being fit. So it does that you might start number 10, it could be number 7 side of the field, that you're making that run in. Obviously, you have the back turn straight away, back towards his own goal, and they don't like that. So it's something I would have done all my life. And to be honest, it's just, I would have went to the field and practiced it, but if I saw an opportunity, I would have backed myself 9 times out of 10 that I knew where the ball was going to go. And I would have got a few goals against some of the best goalies that were played the game, Cummins, Cusack, do you know what I mean, back in the day. And so I kind of knew where the weakness was and where the strengths were, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
We're coming to take an extra step Donald always took an extra step to his right to make a save to his left.
It's gas you say that, because I was just watching back some of the videos, and your shot against Cusack in particular was to the very right corner, you knew that he was leaning a little bit to the near post.
Yeah, he just looked up and he took a little step towards his left, Michael, and in one or two of the games as well that he just took it, because I think he was more confident in diving in with that, and maybe he might say something different, but I took note of that. And you'd have to hit the corner, Michael, because if you didn't hit the corner, he'd save it. So that's, and you just things you study, Michael, when you nowadays they have it all on YouTube, or analysis have them for them. Do you know what I'm saying? We didn't have it back then. You watched them, you studied them, you watched these clips, and you knew where to go with Cummins, where to go with all the keepers that were there. You just have to study him, and 9 times out of 10, Michael, that you get a bit of luck too, that you're around the post. Davy fits again and goal, like, that you knew where his weaknesses were. That he didn't like going this way or that way. But again, you have to be there around the goal to get him, Michael. And sometimes I was there, Michael, and sometimes I wasn't there. So it was.
Which was your favourite one, Dan, or which was the most important goal you got in your head? Or was there one you got particular enjoyment of? Yeah,
I did, Michael. And it was against Tipperary and above in Croke Park, 0-6, I think, yeah. And don't think we'd ever won a game in Croke Park. And I got 1-5 the same day, but the goal that day...
Eamon Corcoran over-committed, did he? A small bit. And he's some defender too. I was looking back at this morning, he just over-committed and you just kind of went past him.
Unbelievable, Michael. And I could see him over-committing a small bit, and I kind of give him the body. But I had timed him to come in, Michael, and I'm my favourite left.
You love the left, yeah. You love leaning back to the left if you could.
I knew nothing was coming at me, and I just looked at Cummins and I knew where to put the ball, Michael, so I did. But Eamon kind of dived in, and I looked at, when your confidence is up, Michael, you see the gaps, and I knew going in there, I wasn't missing that ball, so I wasn't, Michael. And did I celebrate? I went behind the goal there and I kissed the old jersey. But again, it was, we one of our selectors, Mike, would never say, cut out that stuff. I'd never tell a fella, cut out that stuff. Celebrate everything you do, because there'll come a day you won't be able to do it.
It's important, isn't it? Like, some of the great goals are scored now, and you just see lad as a hurl up like that, and he's getting back into his position, and you're just like, maybe there should be like 10 or 15 seconds grace after a goal to let a lad do the Dan or do the Satanta or whatever it is. Milan
has 2 fingers obviously up to the control there, but again, 100%, Mike, and I would be a fan of that, and we the selector, they just said, no, don't draw man. But you have to celebrate these things. You're growing up there 9, 10, scoring a goal in Croke Park in a championship time. You just have to, then you go back out in your position and you'll focus on your game again. But for that 10 seconds, that excitement for after scoring a goal, contributing to winning the game is unbelievable, Michael. Do you know what? And I don't see any reason why players should stop. I don't think he'll go overreacting, jumping on the rail or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe at the final whistle, like Milan and Eoin McGrath, maybe.
You can do that then, but again, we don't. I don't think any players over celebrate anything, Michael. But I think it's important that players do that, because it's so enjoyment to their families, to their friends, their teammates, especially on the day, and the work they put in. And I think you can't celebrate for 10 seconds after scoring a goal. Don't play the game.
Even this year, and I know you watch the football as well, you see, and it wasn't even a goal he scored, but Clifford gets that 2-pointer at the end of the first half of the All-Ireland, and it's this big jump into the air, and it's like the oxygen that breathes into the supporters as well, and I'm sure that was something you were aware of too. People get a kick out of you getting a score, so let them have the kick and let the crowd buzz up and build up.
100%, Michael. And it's just the buzz, the crowd. Your cornerbacks are lifted. Do you know, you get a cornerback after getting caught for 5 or 6 points. Next minute you get a goal. We're back in the game. He's not getting a sniff. Do you know, so it's, and dead right about Clifford. That was just pure magic. What a player, Michael, we can talk about here. Pure magic, that 2-pointer. Knowing he was one of the best fullbacks in the country. The pressure he was under. The kick, that 2-pointer, rose his teammates, most importantly, but also rose the Kerry supporters. And I think anytime you get a goal, Michael, Milan did it numerous times. It got the crowd going. It got us going. And it's, you know, goals win matches. It's an old cliche, but it's a true cliche. Goals win matches. And, you know, the goals have to be celebrated too. You have to create them and take chances. And when you do get the opportunity, you have to take them.
Dan, you're the team that you played on. Like when I go through, and we were only going through it there at home recently enough about like best players to never win All Ireland, and you're looking at like yourself, Milan, McGrath, Brick, Tony Brown, and a couple more. Yeah. You were such a phenomenal team to watch, kind of off the cuff, kind of flamboyant. There was just something kind of different about you. Is any part of you defined, or is your career defined by not getting the Celtic Cross that you set out to get?
No, Michael. And people have said this to me, like, you know, the one thing we did, Michael, and I say we tried extremely hard to win to go up the steps in Croke Park. Our target every year obviously was to win the Ireland, win Munster, win the many trophies you could. We did everything, Michael, possible to do our best to win there. We met unbelievable teams, Michael. We met a Kilkenny team back in our day who had the best six backs you could name. You had the Cork team who had the best backs you could name. We got caught all right a few times by Limerick in 0-7, and occasionally on
that one hurt, I'd say, Dan, because I'd say you were on top form that year.
Yeah, we was, Michael, and people tell us about the 3 weeks in a row has been an excuse. It wasn't, if I'm being honest with you. We conceded 5 goals that day. You can't concede 5 goals. You see it this year with Kilkenny. They conceded 4 in a semi against Tip. You can't concede 5 and win it. We conceded 4 that. And I just really would have loved, Michael, if I'm being honest with you, have Justin McCarthy with us on an All-Ireland final, coaching us, managing us on an All-Ireland final. And to me, that was our time. We had it again in 98 with Gerald against our first opportunity against Kilkenny. And you can rarely see an average team. And they were, and we gave too many chances away that day. When the DJ mishit a free, and Niall Maloney pulled the ball, and it just wasn't our look on the day. But seriously, I just would have loved to have Justin as coaching us, as manager of an Ireland team. What his preparation would have been. I know what it would have been. Get out and just play off the cuff, and we didn't have that opportunity under Justin, unfortunately, Michael.
Just on Justin, I'd imagine. And I was only reading your book there last night in preparation for the interview. Is that your biggest regret after the Clare game, and just the way it all ended with Justin, and not shaking his hand, and then all of a sudden he was gone?
Yeah, oh Jesus, yeah, Michael boy. You know, the time we have to have so much time for that man. Obviously, great time for Gerald. He laid the foundation. So he did, Michael. Laid the foundation. God, wicked unlucky. Justin came in, got Owen McGrath, Owen Kelly, and Owen Murphy. The 3 Owens, we call them. So 3 good, very good players Justin got. But that day, Michael, it still haunts me. But I'm so lucky, Michael. I've met Justin since then. And we've shook hands. We've had conversations about teams and et cetera, and hurling and coaching. Because he loves it, Michael, just as much as I do. But he's just a phenomenal man. He gave us opportunities, Michael, to win All-Stars, to see the world, to win Munsters. Oh, he was the main man behind that, like, and we owe him so much, Michael. So we do, like, you know, it's unbelievable, and I regret that, totally regret it. So I do that shaking off, man. But I had such a bad game that day. I still say it to the clip around the kick up the hole I should have got coming off the field. But Justin being loyal to me, put out his hand, and I didn't shake it. And I think again, when you don't do that, and sports start booing it, you could hear the boos above the stand then more than that, and else in the paper. Whoever it was in the paper just clicked that button right and saw that.
The money shot.
Again, money shot, yeah. And I just thought, I regret it, yeah, but I'm lucky enough, Mike. I've met Justin, we've talked about it, we shook hands. He had no blame on me for that, and I have no blame on him for that whatsoever. It's called respect, Michael, and I have so much respect for that man, and he has for me too, I can assure you that.
That friendship, and I think even friendships that you've made throughout your own career, are very important to you as well. and even from reading your book and family that have supported you, I think it would really hurt you if you and him weren't on terms, I'd say.
Oh, it would, Michael, yeah. And I can't talk about other people, Michael, but if Justin did whatever had problems. But for my first 2 years with Justin, I got no game time, Michael. I got no game time whatsoever. And you kind of knew with Justin, when you weren't getting game time, that he'd take away your hurling and playing it down, and he'd come back to be a beautiful stick. He'd put the grips on it for you. He'd tidy up the hurley for you. And he wasn't doing that for me for 2 years. But that was kind of my fault too. I wasn't fit enough for him to do it, if that makes sense to you. So the one thing he did say to my boss there, Paddy Joe Ryan, he said, I can guarantee you Dan Shanahan will come good. They would have been close with Top Oil at the time. And he would have said to Paddy Joe, trust me, Dan Shanahan's going to come good. He had a belief in me. So it took him 2 years to get out of me and believe. And Jerry Fitzpatrick too, Michael, was a big factor on that for me personally. When Jerry came in, my diet changed, my fitness changed, everything changed, my mentality changed. And with Justin's coaching and Jerry's work that way, it changed all of us, Michael, to be honest with you.
You obviously took, and it's not a simple thing, you weren't playing, you weren't getting much game time. Lads can take that one or two ways now. Some lads take it and they head off and they go back to the club or whatever. Yeah. It's such a test of resilience almost as well, isn't it? Not all lads would pass it, but you clearly did. And the setbacks just made you probably want it even more or try even harder.
It did, Michael, because there was 2 years there under Justin, and maybe towards the end of Gerald's term that wasn't playing well, and kind of established myself from 98 on to years getting forced to start. Next minute Justin comes in, doesn't start me. And never once, I said it Justin once after the 0-3 once the final, when I got no game, I just said, Justin, what can I do to improve, or what have I done wrong that I hadn't got? Because I felt there was one or two subs come on that way. That day weren't going as well as I was. And I would say to him after that game immediately, and to his credit, and his selectors took it on board, and they respected the decision, and I respected them for that. And and we just parted. I started blowing against Wexford, I think, in the knockout with Wexford Bears when John got slapped in the eye, I think, the same day, Michael. And I had 2 or 3 goal opportunities that day that, if I had a bit of confidence going into it, that maybe we would have got over the line that day in Nolan Park. But again, it wasn't. And I would never, because I know how hard it is, Michael, to go down and pick a team. Do you know what I'm saying? You're there till 12 o'clock, this one, not starting, he's not starting. And it's so hard, Michael, that I can understand now. You have to work hard away from the field. And Justin, I'll never have any qualm with Justin not playing me, because half of that was down to me as well.
And just on that, from going to not playing games and not being played to being Hurler of the Year 4 years later is quite remarkable in a way.
It is, Michael. As I said, it is. It probably is. I don't know. People will tell you that it is, but it's to come from where I came from, Michael. Lismore, small town there, and to represent your club. I would have played all that was up with, obviously, under 14, 16 minors, 21s at the time, and into the senior panel then, with the lads. And they really look, my club is so important to me, Michael, that I wouldn't be there only for my club. Do you know what I'm saying? To Sean Pendergast, every coach has coached Lismore, every coach have coached Waterford, that they have work they have put in there in the club, and to reward, but to go up and to win Munster and get Hurler of the Year, it wasn't really planned, Michael. You don't plan getting Hurler of the Year. It's just when you get opportunities to get goals or get a few scores in a game that you take them, and all of a sudden comes these things at the end of the year, when you get it. And look, it's great for my family, it's great for my club, so it is. Was it good for Dan Shanahan? Look, it probably was. It probably put a bit of pressure on for the year after. Call a spade a spade. That happens. I didn't change that in Michael, if I'm being honest with you. But look, I don't go out. No one goes out every year to say, look, I'm going to go up there and get Hurler of the Year and do it for myself. Nah, Michael. Anything I ever did was for my teammates.
Yeah,
my team, and that's me being honest with you.
Just something you said about what Justin gave ye and gave you personally as well. Hurling showed you the whole world. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, please, yeah.
God only knows. Name out a few couple of places you were, and even some of the experience you had.
Unbelievable in Singapore, Michael, with the All Stars. To the credit, again, comes with hurling. Whereas with 6 or 7 Waterford lads over there with other lads. So unbelievable. Again, we saw New York, Cancun. Unbelievable. We saw places, Michael, that I'd never see. We go back to New York 3 or 4 times, Michael, so I think we did. But it was unbelievable to go and witness Gaelic Park, or to play even in Singapore with your Waterford teammates on an All-Star trip. That it was unbelievable, Michael, and to the crack we had, and the games of pool we had with Brian Lohan and Johnny McMahon and 7 Dave Bennett, we were afraid of our shit to win the game. 2 boys would kill us. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but they were just having the crack as well with us and stuff like that. Like, you know, we kind of were really, from being honest, we stuck together, the Waterford lads. So the lads had, some of the lads had their partners. I stayed with Dave Bennett. So at the time, we just left the hair down. We had a good crack. Did what we had to do with the Singapore people and signed the jerseys and put on an exhibition there. And I can remember Davey that day too. There was fellas going in on goal, taking pot shots. He was going mad inside there. But again, like, you know, that was the crack then. Like, you know, and going to New York with the lads, and as I said, going on tour. We're in South Africa, Michael, as well. What a crack down there in Cape Town. Justin loved his boss down to the poor places, and to really show them how lucky we are. Where we come from to come where, when you go to the place, like we went in Cape Town, and to see what they're struggling with, and you're saying to yourself, oh, I'm here for a holiday, they're here for the rest of their lives, and it would open your eyes. And Justin brought us down there to really have a look at that, and we took it on board, Michael, and we just said to ourselves, and we had a game of soccer down there as well, and just with the people, and look, just a mix of the people as well, and show how much we appreciate them having a game of soccer, 11 aside there, and stuff like that was unbelievable, Michael, because sometimes you go to these trips and you're going away and you're having this and everything's done for you, and 20 minutes down the road these people are starving, let's be honest about it, and struggling, and to go down there and buy a few hats or buy what we did that day to just support them was phenomenal too.
Hurling is, as I said, it's experiences have been thrown up for you that just you might probably never dreamed of. Like, that type of thing is just like, and just, yeah, as you say, it's one thing experiencing the bright lights, and I was in Singapore myself, it's an amazing place, but to go and see the other side of the world and how, you know, the squalor that some people are living in as well, it wouldn't half ground you and educate you.
200%, Michael. And we, as I say, we went to Cape Town. We're lucky we went to Cape Town with South Africa. What a spot. We had some crack, Michael. We enjoyed ourselves. One day we went out there to where the poor people were, and to see what they're going through, Michael. It was just to make you look at that and think of what you have at home and how lucky you are. What your mum and dad got you through to where you are now, and to see what they're going through, Michael, was tough. But again, look, it was just to open your eyes, Michael. And look, you know, it shouldn't be happening, Michael, but it is.
Yeah. You mentioned there about coming up against the great Kilkenny team and the great Cork team. One player I want to pick out that you marked, and to me, he's the best defender that I have ever seen, and that's JJ Delaney. Talk to me about what he was like to mark.
Yeah, Michael. Again, utmost respect, Michael. I think any time we played Kilkenny, he was the man put on me. To be honest with you, like, you know, and it didn't fear him, Michael, but I gave him too much respect as a player. I went up, like, we went about Ken McGrath or someone, even my brother, some lads might have that stroke in them. I never did it. You know, I went up to catch maybe ball, where I maybe once or twice should have went back and just let fly in the air and see what would have happened then. But JD was the best. His timing, Michael, in the air was unbelievable. His hurling, his presence, he's the best defender, if not that I've ever witnessed. Like, you know, you'd always try then to get on. You'd struggle on him. Next minute, Justin put you in front, and then you're meeting old Hickey, who cut the head off you. Do you know? And then you're going to the corner and you're meeting Jackie Terrell, who do the same to you. So they just had so many. But JJ, out that you go to Tommy, and he's 5 foot what, but he's coming over your foot, 6'3", and he's catching all of you. And you're saying to yourself, how is he doing it? It's all timing, Michael. Do you know? It's timing your run, time your ability in the air. But they're phenomenal players, Michael. And to me, JJ was the cream of the crop, to be honest with you. Like, oh, you know, the way he switched from wing back to full back. Do you know, no giving out, no nothing, just going in there, Cody, full back straight away. And that hook he made on, I think it was Joe Canning there, on one of the Galway and Kilkenny games, unbelievable. Or was it Shamie Cannon? Unbelievable. Yeah. Do you know, and look, I suppose when you have 8 or 9 All-Ireland medals, Michael, that'll tell you how good he was, like, you know. So, but look, yeah.
One of those All-Ireland semi-finals, Dan, I remember a ball dropping, and I remember literally thinking that he actually caught the ball nearly out of your face. It was nearly in your mouth. The hand was down here, and it was like an octopus in the air. Yeah, he was Michael. But again, they were so good at him, Michael, that he was coming, maybe tipping the back of your helmet, and your right thing is gone, then and it's gone. And next minute you're there for. And next minute he's grabbed the ball. Do you know? And that was a great Tommy trick by all accounts, and he did it so quickly you wouldn't see it. Brilliant. And you next minute your right level is gone, and you're looking at saying next minute they're gone. So it was just
their hands were all over you, Michael. I think one of the pictures there, they have 4 or 5 fellas around you, but they're all over you. They're fouling you. But again, it's just they were unbelievable. If you didn't time it, Michael, you have to bring them on the run. You had to bring JJ on the run from 7 to 5 position. And I didn't do enough of that when I was on JJ, to be honest. I stayed in the wing there instead of maybe turning them back towards his own goal or bringing them out the field even. Bring him out towards midfield and see where they followed away. So that was maybe 1 or 2 regrets on JJ.
It's gas how you go back through those little things. Oh, maybe I should have tried this or I should have tried that. And I'd imagine from a coaching perspective, it's nice to be able to... Do you know what I often think as a coach, Dan, and even probably as a manager, it probably helps that, obviously, you've all the great moments in your career, but it helps the more bad days you've had, the better almost, because you learn so much and you can pass experiences on to lads about them, because they are the real school days, like, aren't they?
100%, Mike. 100% is how you deal with bad days too much. That you can bring it to the boys. I've been there. Hurler of the year, been taken off the following year, that kind of stuff that I would have bought a bit of knowledge to Austin when he got Hurler of the year and young Hurler of the year. That kind of, you just bring it to key, and he didn't change anything, Michael. We didn't change anything. He kept going. And just some days you don't have them days, and you don't have the days you had previous years. But just bad days, you try as a coach, you try and bring it to the boys. Because there's nothing worse than when you see 1 or 2 lads not playing well and you're there, you're putting a hand around them. That's what they want to, Michael. They want their hand around them. They want to be told this. Now they have everything, Michael. They can be showed why they're going wrong, where they're going wrong. But it's so important that you're face to face with these people too, Michael. It's not just over a television or a clip or anything like that you can go face to face with the players. And I think it's very important. Man management nowadays is very important, Michael. You can see it even with the All-Ireland champions this year.
There's nothing like looking a fella in the eyes. Sure, there's not. Like, at the end of the day, you can have your Zooms and you can have your virtual meetings and all this, but face-to-face contact, there's still nothing like it.
Personally, I know, Michael, if a fella respects you or not, he'll look you straight in the eye. If they're interested in coaching and all that, they'll look at. They're not taking their eye off the coach or the manager. When Justin spoke, we looked him in the eye. Simple as that. Gerald spoke, we looked him in the eye. When David, to his credit, when he spoke, we looked him in the eye. We liked him or didn't like him, we still looked him in the eye. And I think that's the respect you have to have for the people in charge. And you look them in the eye. And if you call them out, call each other out in a positive way. Have a chat about it, that kind of stuff. But of course, you look at each other in the eye and you get the respect of each other. And you said there, man to man is unbelievable that you have the respect with the player. And I have utmost respect for every player involved with last year and the year coming. The respect I have for them, because I know what they're doing away from the field to try and get over the line. So I have utmost respect for the Waterford players, Mike. And eye to eye is so important.
Would it be fair to say, Dan, that you're a positive man?
I would be, Michael. I would be, yeah. And I would be. I've been through the mill, and a lot of lads have been through the mill, so they have. But you have to take the positivity out of it, Michael. You have to take the positives. Granted, you're going to have bad days. Every player has a bad day, Michael. The best of golfers, the best of soccer players, American footballers on big money have bad days. That's how you deal with it. Trust your ability. Have a talk. Sports psychology is a big thing now, Michael. Personally, it wouldn't be for me back in the day when Davey bought it. It wasn't for me. I knew when I was going bad.
In what sense, Dan? Is that overthinking then, or what do you think?
Yeah, I knew, Michael, when I was going bad. I didn't know. I didn't have to be told that you missed 4 or 5 balls. Do you know, that kind of way? And players know themselves, Michael, that when they're having bad times or bad games, they know themselves. They don't need to be told by a professional. Nowadays, it's changed, Michael. Everything's changed. Lads want to talk to the sports psychologist. They die by him. We were lucky enough to have Shane O'Sullivan in this year. He's been phenomenal with the lads, Michael. Absolutely phenomenal with the lads. His positivity around the place, his knowledge of the game, be from Ballygun or be from Waterford. Do you know, he's also massive because he's a Waterford man. Do you know, and the boys buy into Shane big time and will buy into Shane next year big time again. Because most teams that win All-Ireland, Michael, are talking about sports psychologists. Do you know, so they are last year, Liam Carr, previous years, Limerick. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not the be-all of in-all, but if the players want to use them and they're there for them, well and good. Yeah. You know, that's the way I look at it, Michael.
Does Tipperary win the All-Ireland, like, not just talking about ye, but talking about counties in general? Like, they came from being 5th in Munster the year before to win All-Ireland. Does that kind of make you realise, Jesus, if it all clicked for us and if we were able to get out of Munster, God only knows what could happen?
Definitely. Oh, Jesus, yeah, Michael. I totally agree with it. I think 12 months ago, like, Waterford should have beaten Tip in Wells Park, and Tip got the draw. This year, they beat us obviously above and told us, Michael. But you were saying to yourself, then, how have they improved? We haven't improved. And after coming off, obviously, beating Clare, losing to Limerick, but going into the Tip game, we would have targeted that game, and we went 6 or 7 points up in that game, Michael, and in the first 15, 20 minutes. But again, to Tip's credit, they came back, and of course you have to look at Tipperary, of course you have to look at Liam Carr and his management team, the way they have turned their season or their beliefs around the young fellas they've bought in to their setup that are mentally strong and physically strong, that Liam has bought in, and the likes of John McGrath bringing his knowledge to these young fellas is unbelievable. Like, you know, I think John McGrath should get Hurler of the Year, Michael, if I'm being honest with you. Score 7 something in championship hurling from being around the goalposts, because that's where he got most of his goals from. Legs wouldn't be great with John, he'd tell you that himself, but his knowledge of the game was unbelievable. You have to respect when you see Tipperary doing it. Why can't Waterford do it? You know, why can't Waterford go up the steps in Croke Park? What's the point? If you don't have belief, Michael, that you're as good as Tip or as good as Ireland champions, don't play the game, because it's you're cutting yourself. That if you can't put in the effort, Michael, I'd be a big fan. Don't play the game then, because the effort you have to put in to get over the line is phenomenal. Your life for 7-8 months is totally to your teammates in Waterford, and you can see the rewards them when Tip did it last year, or even winning Munster Michael for Cork or for Waterford would be unbelievable next year. And it's my point being, Michael, we're as good as Tip. We just have to work harder maybe next season to get over the line.
I'd imagine you were the type of fella that would have got a good kick out of John McGrath. Obviously, you don't want them scoring against you, but I think you end up with something like 7-8. I think he got 7 championship goals, poacher supreme.
Poacher supreme. Always there at the right time, right space, right spot. Hand pass to him. Where is he? He's on the end of the ball. Back at, and 9 times out of 10, Michael, he doesn't miss. Do you know? So it's just his knowledge where to be, Michael. I said it there earlier on. His brain, where to be at the right time, at the right place. Andrew Orman come through, pops John McGrath a goal. Do you know that the penalty he won, do you know, in the Ireland final, just around the square, on a big man, caught the ball over him, and unbelievable. Goal, Darren McCarthy goal. Yeah. Do you know, so credit to John McGrath, and credit to, I really like the McGrath. They had a tough season with Boris Lee as well, which a lot more. They had a long season. They still came back and still produced the goods for Tipperary. And when you see the videos, Michael, after the 3 or 4 days when Tipperary celebrating in different clubs in Tipperary with different jerseys on them on a Tuesday to Wednesday, and he did all the old retro jerseys on them. And I said to myself, why can't it be us? Like, no.
Yeah.
But to do that, you have to put in an unbelievable effort, Michael.
Yeah, you mentioned about all the young fellas that have kind of staked their claim with Tipperary and kind of end up winning All Ireland this year. You must have gotten great excitement out of Waterford minors this year, and I even was looking at my own county with the 20s last year, and you're like, I don't care what anyone says, Dan. Give me. Some people say it's the hope that kills you, but give me hope any day, because you're thinking, geez, in 5-6 years, where might we, you know, or might we be, shall I say? And I'd imagine there's a great buzz and excitement in Waterford over that team, because that was, it was left field enough, and it was one of your own clubmen in Lismore and James Joxer O'Connor as well.
Yeah, Joxer would have had previously, he would have Cork Championship with Carrie Toole. They'll probably never win one again. Do you know what I mean? He managed them to win that, a massive day. He's managed Ballyhale as well to win trophies. He's done it now with Waterford. He's played with Waterford before, obviously. In Tommy Ryan, Paul Flynn, Nicholas Mackey, great lads with him. Like Tommy Ryan, massive coach. Paul Flynn was massive coach that would have put on the jersey. But I have to admit this now, that the county board staying with Joxer too, that after 2 or 3 years didn't win the game, they could have said, right, we'll move you on there and we'll get someone else in there. And to their credit, they stuck with him. And you see the rewards. Do you know, Michael, that the way they played, Michael, through the championship, coming through, winning the game, got caught by Cork twice, but the way they came back again, they got better as the games went on. And the Ireland final performance was moving towards us in a wet day, and it was phenomenal, boy, to witness that. And you're on about the crowd again, Michael, coming onto the field after the game, going to Welsh Park the day after, Michael, it was a buzz for the senior hurlers, senior players, even for me, seeing them win it was phenomenal, boy. And I was so happy for the young lads. I was so happy for Joxer, but I was so more happy for the Waterford supporters that they finally got something to chant Waterford about and celebrate with them young lads, like, you know. And now it's time, Michael, that maturity must come into it a bit now. Do you know what I'm saying? They have to be looked after now. the under 20s. I think Joxer is going to stay with the under 20s as far as I know. I don't know yet, but I hope he gets that job because he knows these players, and it's important to keep him level-headed now because you know as well as I do, things can go one way for a player at that young and another way for a player that young. So it's so important that these lads get the 20s job and keep these lads grounded and produce them for the adult hurling in years to come.
You just mentioned about the Waterford supporters. Just from what I'm hearing, I haven't been at any games, but I'm just chatting people on the ground in Waterford that the numbers going through the turnstiles for senior championship games are down, shall we say. Maybe in other years there's a bit of, I don't know, a bit of maybe kind of apathy towards the structures and how kind of bang, bang, bang it is and how quickly it's played off. And I know there's a good bit of controversy about Frater Field at the minute and the condition that's in. A kind of a bit of negativity bubbling there at the minute just for a number of reasons in the background.
There is a bit, if I'm being honest, I might no point coming on telling lies, to be honest. I am, but it's, you know, when you, like, it's hard to say this, Mike, but Ballygone are going for so many in a row, 64 championship games now. They'll have one in Waterford straight. Do you know, I cannot see anything beating them again this year, Mike, if I'm being honest with you. And that's to their credit, that's their club, and that's the way they run it. Mike, and it's phenomenal what they're doing down there. To keep the boys, keep coming back every year and winning it was unbelievable. Like, you know, and you have to credit Ballygone, Mike, that they're so hungry. Like, they're winning games without Pádraig Mahoney at the moment. They're throwing in the young fellas. I think Jason Ryan has gone in there, but you probably know Jason there with Fergal and Hackley, and they've gone in there and bought a running game, give and go game. But their panels, like, they're probably been the senior final, if they're barring an unbelievable upset. They're in the intermediate Premier final, and they're in the Junior A county final. So that's phenomenal for one club to produce all these adult teams and winning. It's unbelievable. Some people would say, Mike, it's hurting Waterford hurling. Personally, I don't see that. If you want to beat Ballygone, you have to come up to their level. I think Darragh Sullivan would have said that previous times in meetings or interviews. If you want to beat Ballygone, they're not going to come down to your level. You're going to have to go up to theirs. So that's, to me, what people aren't going through the turnstiles. They're saying, Ballygone will win it again. The best championship down here in White, if I've been honest with you, is probably the intermediate, where it's dog eat dog in West and East. So it is. The senior outcome is probably Ballygone are going to win again. But Mount Sinai are doing a good bit this year. The quarterfinals are on this weekend. So they are. So Mount Sinai are probably the second best team. Lowmore thereabouts, De La Salle thereabouts, and my own club are thereabouts. But again, Mike, it's so hard that they're just so good.
Yeah,
do you know, they're just so good. Like, they have two players for every position. We get one keeper and there's more injured. We've 3-4 fellas out the weekend, Michael, over 6 foot for there's more probably out if I'm being honest, and we just can't replace them. We just don't have the numbers to replace them.
Is that Dan to do with the game week on week and
it is, Mike, if I'm being honest with you, it is. It's not helping. I'll be honest, it's not helping. And again, it's hard to be so critical of Frater Field, but there should be no game played there, Michael. There should have been no game played there, but they didn't. We all understood what they're trying to do, get the pitch into massive order for the club championship, but they timed it so wrong. The weather was so dry, the rain wasn't falling, so they couldn't. The grass couldn't grow where it's meant to grow. So this weekend they pulled all the games from Frater Field there. They've gone to Welsh Park. But if you watch Welsh Park, Michael, lately, that's burnt. Do you know, if you saw any games there 2 or 3 weeks ago, that Welsh Park was burnt. There was fellas come off the field with, grass burn, Michael. You come off the field there, it gets infected. You're in trouble. So, do you know, but it is what it is, Michael. So we're going to Welsh Park Sunday, with the club, and please God, to have such a good stadium, Michael, in Welsh Park, and if the field isn't up to the standard it should be. Do you know, for the stadium, after putting that much money into the stadium, I just hope it looks well Sunday, because there's good games the weekend, Michael, in Waterford.
Just a quick one, Dan. You've been great with your time. I've always been fascinated with your tattoos.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah.
How many are we talking about?
I'm talking a few now. There's a few you can't see, a few you can see. You have a good few, Michael. To be honest with you, it's something I just it's something. It doesn't make me a hard man, Michael, have a tattoo. I never looked at it like that, but one of my hand will be holy and the other of my hand will be family, if that makes sense to you. So it's just something that are something that's in something to do with me, if that makes sense. That it's not to make Dan Shanahan look harder. I see a lot of lads with sleeves and it's not at all. It's just something personal to me, and I have a few more to get, Michael, before I go anywhere. Enjoy, Michael. I enjoy getting them, to be honest with you. I enjoy if they mean something to you. Why not? If it's totally up to you, and every fella's different, Michael. Some people wouldn't like him, some people do like him, and I just like the pain for a while, Michael, so it's tough going. It's tough going.
Your autobiography was named after one. Whereabouts is that one? If you don't know me, don't judge me.
It's there on my right hand, Michael, so it is, if you don't know. I just saw it, and I saw it myself in some paper back in one of the World Cups, and I think if only God can judge me was on it, and he said, if you don't know me, don't. I thought it was unbelievable, because like you're judged fairly quick by some people, Michael, when you don't perform or you don't do the right thing, and they know nothing about you. Do you know what I'm saying to you? What you're going through, what you've been through to get you where. And I just think it's so important that you respect the player that you're giving an opinion of, that you know a bit about him. That's all it is.
I always think, Dan, it's fascinating, and obviously, like, I'm a pundit in inverted commas as part of my job, but you do not know, like, there's usually a reason why a lad hasn't played well. There's something going on, and I sometimes think what happens between the white lines, where so critical at times, and you've no idea. Like, there was an interview with Henry Shefflin a couple of days ago. He's talking about Adrian Mullen, and he said, and I think Adrian Mullen did something like a fifth of the Kilkenny training sessions this year, because he's crippled with that Gilmore grind. But I didn't know that. Nobody else knew that. He was going out and taking the pitch. You're getting harshly judged. He's not up to his standards. I know that's probably something similar to you in 08. You weren't even fit. But once you cross the white lines, it can be very harsh, overly harsh at times.
It can be very hard. You said it there, overly harshly. It can be very harsh on players, because back in the day, Michael, it wasn't happening for me. It was there wasn't much social media about. Now there is. There's people commenting on Facebook or Twitter or all that kind of stuff. And I can see it here in Waterford, some of the lads who are carrying big injuries are working so hard behind the scene. They come onto the field, they miss 2 or 3 frees, and next they're lambscated. And I just say to myself, they know nothing about it. They know what they're going through. I can say Adrian Mullen's a great point. So it is, and I've no doubt I saw him this year coming back, and next minute he goes again, now he's going to miss his club championship. And I'd be all saying in Kilkenny, because I was looking up to be in Kilkenny, and he's a phenomenal hurler, but it's just not happening from him injury wise. So look, I guarantee you, he's doing his best to get back right for his club, or back right for Kilkenny next year. I know for a fact, because you see it down here with Darrell Lyons last year, came back with a groin injury, took him 6 months to get it right. Gavin Fives was out again with a torn Achilles, what he's gone through to get himself right to play hurling for Waterford. Conor Prunty, Stephen Bennett, what he goes through to play hurling for Waterford, Michael, is phenomenal.
Just a word on him, because he shouldn't be playing. He shouldn't be playing realistically.
He shouldn't be playing, Michael, and that's what he's been told. And I was talking to him there about 2 or 3 months ago, and the stuff he told me, what he does, Michael, away from the field, was unbelievable. The stuff. He bought the two things. You put your legs into the recovery leg yokes. I don't just see him or no.
Yeah.
He bought them himself individually. So he did. He goes to the stream where he's living up there in Ballinlough, Connacht, County Cork. He goes to the stream there to get his body right for training. Do you know, he goes to the physio every Monday on his own cost to get his hips right. So that stuff he told me, I wouldn't have known that until he told me. Do you know, and every player is doing something like that, Michael. It's not only Stephen, because Stephen's hips we hear about it, but there's other lads doing that stuff as well away from the field that we don't see, Michael. And when he told me that and what he does, and you look at his stats, what he's done for Waterford over the years and what he's continued to do, and please God will continue to do for Waterford, Michael, because look, he's a phenomenal player, Michael. He's one of the best. Like I always said to Michael, Clare, Tony Kelly, Wexford, Leigh Chain, Fitzgibbon at Cork, Stephen Bennett at Waterford. He's up there with the best of them. Trust me when I say that. He's just gifted, Michael, and just hope he can continue to play as long as he can, because there'll come a time he'll say that he wished he could play longer, and I hope the hips hold up for as long as they can, because we need him. So we do down in Waterford.
Last one, Dan. What do you hope Waterford will get out of 2026?
Again, Michael, people are saying to me, look, to be great to come out of Munster. It'd be unbelievable then to come out of Munster. Personally, Michael, obviously, like your league is kind of important, Michael. If you know what's happened in the last maybe 2 or 3 years at league finalists have got to the Ireland final. If correct me if I'm wrong there, I think they have to get to a semi-final league would be great, Michael. And if you get to a semi-final league, you want to win it. But for us next year, league will be bringing lads through, Michael, to senior setup, giving lads opportunities. So it's going to be hard few months for Waterford in the league, Michael, that we're going to throw in young fellas there that maybe haven't get. But can we? People say they can. We're playing Cork, Tip, we're playing all the top teams, Michael. So it's going to be interesting. But for me, win Munster. No point saying I'll be great to go to Munster. get out of Munster and get to the quarterfinal and still have no trophy. Do you know? So, were you happy getting out of Munster, not win the trophy, and go to the All-Ireland quarterfinal and not winning All-Ireland? For me personally, Michael, it's winning Munster, winning All-Ireland. Because if you don't have that belief and that willingness to do it, you know, you can't. To be great to get out of Munster, but you have to believe you're going to win Munster, Michael. Then you'll get out of Munster. You know, if you don't believe you're going to win the Ireland, you believe you win the Ireland, you win the Ireland. But personally, for me, our job is to win Munster. You win Munster in our Ireland semi-final. 2 games away from being All Ireland champions. So, if you want, that's just my opinion, Michael. I hate this talk of get out of Munster, get out of Munster. It's people are happy win Munster, and you're out of Munster.
Okay. Last one, Dan. Any advice? What piece of advice would you give her to maybe an aspiring young hurler, maybe hoping to make a breakthrough club or county? Anything in particular that you picked up through your own time, or any wise words or experiences?
This phenomenal now, Michael, that you know that to be an inter-county hurler is unbelievable. Like, you know, the season is so short that you have to want it. You know, you have to want to go train in November, December up the sand dunes in Tramore or the Colligan Woods. You'd have to want to do, but so much so you have to want to do it away from the field yourself too, Michael. If that makes sense to you. You can't just show up on the field, do all the unbelievable drills that we bring to the lads, or talk all the tactics or talk out strategies, but you have to want to go in and do the stuff off the field as well as on it. And look, it's you talk to the best sportsmen when you've interviewed the best sports. You just the work they put in, Michael, to be the best. I just mentioned Steve Minute there, the work he tries to do. Like, I'd love to know what John McGrath did last year to be the best, or to credit Willie Connors, who's taken off in the league final and come back and be probably man of the match in the All-Ireland final. Do you know what do they do, Michael? So it's my advice is, the one thing I have to say, Michael, you have to enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy it. When you win, you have to celebrate it. And when you train, you have to train hard. So I'm not going to knock any young fella saying it's tough. It is tough, Michael. It is, and it's a long road. But by God, when you see, as I said, day 1, day 2 of Tipperary win the All-Ireland, or I'd say day 1, day 2 of Rob Downey bring the cup up the hill in his club, and again, Daisy going into next year, going into Ballygunner schools, and then going into his club. You know, that's what you want. That's where to be, like, you know. And I just hope that young lads come in this year that they will put in the effort, Michael. And please God, you never know, Mike, because other teams are starting from scratch now again. And look, it's back to the drawing board again now, and plan for next year already.
As you were talking there, Dan, a famous quote came into my head, and you know what I'd say. The fight is won or lost far away from witnesses, behind the lines, in the gym and out there on the road, long before I dance under those lights. The great Muhammad Ali. That's basically what you're saying.
That's it. That's exactly my point, Michael. That's exactly my point. And look, would I do it again, Michael? I would. If I could turn back the clock 20, 30 years, definitely I'd do it. And I did it. But it's you know, I think like the fact that we have no under 20 success, Michael, down here, that young fellas haven't been used to winning, and you know what I'm saying to that, they haven't got that in there, that they're winners in there yet. So that's something we have to work on, that when they do come in, that they'll train hard, and please God, they'll enjoy it. And it's important for us too, man, Mike, as a coach and team, that we bring enjoyment to them as well. So when they can have a beer, they have a beer. But when they have to get serious, they get serious. If that makes sense to you. It has to work both ways, Mike. Like, I think I saw someone there, Aaron Kieran, saying there about a month ago, where they would have maybe had a couple of beers after every game. But that wouldn't happen down here. You know, you'd be lamb-skated if it happened down here, like, you know. But again, look, it's to bring the enjoyment to the setup, and I know the lads have enjoyed last year's setup, but enjoying it and winning Munster, that's some enjoyment, you know. So please God, Michael.
It's a fine balance, isn't it? It's a fine balance.
It's a massive balance, man. Yeah, it's a massive balance, Michael, because it's, you know, it's unbelievable. As I said to you, Michael, it's something you'll never forget. Like, I don't forget the final whistle blowing and winning Munster. Like, you know, I never witnessed our Ireland's. So I haven't. So Owen Kelly has a selector with us. He's witnessed that, and he's brought that to the boys as well. So Joe, it's unbelievable, Michael, like that. When you see teams that you know you're as good of doing like that, please God, that you're putting in the effort to do it. We're as good as anyone else down here, Michael. Trust me, I say that.
Dan, thanks a million for your time. That was super. A little trip down memory lane, and I hope it brought back some mostly good memories.
It did. I hope you enjoyed it, Michael. I didn't have one in a while, so it was great to have a few stories out there as well. Like, you know, so it's great. I wouldn't be a big fan of these things, Michael, but when you rang and asked me to do it, I couldn't. The hardest thing for me is turn on this freaking phone, so get this Zoom thing up. So it is,
you got there anyway. Milan does do the podcast from the van, so you're in a better setting than he is anyway.
I'm here at work at the background of the working page your Ryan's office, so that's where I am. So I'm here again.
Great stuff, Dan.
Anytime.
Thanks a million. Talk soon, pal.